Let me ask you something simple. How many times have you had a deal almost happen, but it didn't? Not because the client said no, not because they went with someone else. It just faded. A conversation ended sooner than it should have. You didn't follow up because you didn't want to bother them. You waited instead of reaching out, and nothing bad happened in that moment. There was no conflict, no rejection, no awkward exchange, but weeks later you realized something. That opportunity never came back, and neither did the next one that could have followed it. This happens to agents every single day. Over time, those quiet moments add up to missed referrals, missed repeat business, and missed income that never shows up on a spreadsheet. In this video, I want to show you what's actually happening in those moments and how it slowly costs agents far more than they think. Once you see it, you'll start noticing it everywhere, in conversations, in follow-ups, and even in how clients respond to you. Let's talk about it. Scarcity doesn't show up dramatically. It doesn't feel like fear, it feels reasonable. It shows up in small pauses. You think about reaching out, then decide to wait. You finish a good conversation, but you don't schedule the next step. You tell yourself, I'll give them space. I don't want to push. I'll circle back later. Those thoughts sound mature, professional, and even respectful. But here's what happens next. Time moves forward. The client gets busy. Your attention shifts to work, family, travel, and life. And the conversation fades into the background. The connection loses energy. And when this happens once, it doesn't matter much. But when it happens repeatedly, it shapes your entire business. You end up having good conversations that don't turn into anything more. You feel like you're doing the work, but you're starting over again and again. That's how scarcity works in real life. It's not loud, it's subtle. And over time, hesitation becomes a habit that costs far more than most agents realize. Scarcity also changes how you behave long before it shows up in your income. When you feel like opportunities are limited, you start treating every interaction carefully. You overthink messages, you replay conversations in your head. You hesitate instead of following through. And this shows up most clearly after conversations that go well. The client sounds interested, they thank you, they say they'll think about it. But instead of continuing the conversation later, many agents stop there. From the agent's side, it feels polite. From the client's side, life just keeps moving. Different priorities take over. Without continued contact, the connection doesn't grow. It slowly fades. Scarcity also shows up after closings. There's relief when the deal is done. You breathe, you move on to the next thing. But without a follow-up plan, the relationship loses momentum. Over time, this creates a strange pattern. You work hard, you have solid skills, you get results in short bursts, but nothing carries forward. Each opportunity stands alone, each month depends on starting fresh. And until those habits change, income stays fragile, no matter how capable you are. Now here's the shift. Most future business doesn't come from big dramatic moments. It comes from small choices made during calm times. Right after a closing, most agents assume the relationship will take care of itself. Top producers don't assume that. They treat that moment as the beginning of a longer story intentionally. The first move isn't simple. They mark the moment. They acknowledge what just happened. They check in once the dust settles. They ask how things feel now that the move is done. These touches don't ask for anything. They just keep the connection warm. Over time, this does something powerful. When life changes for the client, a new job, a growing family, a friend asking for an agent, they don't have to search their memory. Your name is already there. That's how top producers turn one deal into many. Not by pushing, not by being louder, but by not disappearing. And here's what changes when scarcity fades. You stop rushing conversations. You stop carrying that quiet pressure of what if this doesn't work out. You stop assuming that silence means rejection. Instead, you trust that opportunities don't vanish the moment you pause. You know there are people in your world who remember you. You know conversations don't end just because a deal did, and that changes how you show up. You follow up calmly, you check in naturally, and you stay present without feeling awkward. Over time, business starts stacking in a way that feels steady. A past client checks in. Someone mentions your name in a conversation you're not part of. A referral comes from a place you weren't watching closely. That's when income stops feeling fragile. Not because you're doing more, but because what you've already done keeps working. This is why top producers don't panic when a week is quiet. They know silence doesn't mean nothing is happening. They know momentum carries forward. They've built something that doesn't reset every month. If this video helps something click for you, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.